What if I told you that chances are it's Kinksame? So you probably shouldn't kink shame, right? Yeah, I know, mind blowing. It's exactly why we can't have nice things. Hello, once again, boys and girls. Welcome to the
Hello, hello.
episode. Welcome. Now, chances are you guys saw the teaser memes, you saw the teaser posts, and tonight, well, you're gonna be teased a little bit more because,
You're gonna be teased a lot.
yeah, we got a very, very, very spicy subject to talk about. It's something that people don't really discuss in public, but they like to whisper about it behind closed doors. And Zach and I believe, my friend Zach
Mm-hmm.
and I, we believe
Hello.
that this is something that needs to be brought to the forefront. However, we are not the best people to do that. So,
Yeah, because it's gonna sound like we're gonna talk out of our asses if it was just us.
exactly. So, we have brought to you tonight on this episode someone who is very knowledgeable, someone who is, I would dare say, an expert in this particular subject. So I would like to give a very brief introduction. All right. So our guest for
Please.
tonight is a pioneer in the YouTube vlogging industry in the Philippines. She started in 2010 producing content about beauty, travel, and lifestyle. Now, come 2020,
Damn.
she put more focus on her sex ed advocacy across all her
I love it,
social
man.
media
I
platforms
love it.
and launched her Spotify exclusive podcast called Ask Say, the podcast, where she tackles various topics, including those that are considered taboo and not openly talked about,
Ooh.
especially given the country's conservative and religious
Oh my.
culture. Now, she's been producing content alongside adult toy brands, sex therapists,
Ooh.
sexologists, psychologists, doctors, and various influencers with the same advocacy to keep the conversation about sex going. She believes that sexuality is a gift and it should be explored on a much deeper level. And to that, we
True.
completely agree. Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, boys and girls, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Say Tioco. Thank you so much for being with us. Say!
Hey,
Hi,
say.
hi Carlos, hi Zach. Thank you for having me. And to all
You
the listeners of the Chances Are podcast.
oh my
Hi.
thank you so much for being here. It's so nice to finally have someone who can discuss this particular topic, which a lot of people, well, they have their thoughts. Pretty divided, right, Zach? You know
hmm
how people
Especially
yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the Philippines, man. And say we did mention this, but we can't thank you enough for being able to join us
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and at least giving us a little bit of should I say validity? Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
if it was just Carlos and I rambling about whatever conservative nature our
Oh no.
country has
Oh
and
no.
whatnot, it's chances are we could get canceled even faster,
Yeah,
but at
it would
least
be it would be an awesome dumpster fire,
it's
right? I
fine.
know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have you here and actually speak facts. I mean, it is your advocacy, and we admire you for that. But we would really love to know how exactly did you get started and what made you choose to advocate for sex positivity.
This actually started last year lang. Pre-pandemic, it was 2020.
Oh,
I think
Oh.
January. And
Mm.
then I went through an existential crisis. I was like, "Oh my god, what am I doing with my life? What content am I making? Do I even want to make makeup videos pa?" All of that kasi ang tagal ko
right.
na in the industry, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for over a decade now. And at some point last year, I was like, oh my God, what can I do? I want to do more. Alam mo yung ganung feeling na I want to do more. I
Yeah.
don't know what it
Oh
is, but I want to
yes.
do something more, something that is more
Absolutely.
meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought about a message that I got from one of my friends from Ilia. So Ilia kasi is the sex toy store that I've been working with. Ang dami namin ginawang content the past 2 years, I thought about a message from them because the first time I got that email, I think email or Instagram DM yon, I was very hesitant. Sabi ko, shocks, wait lang. Sex toys, wait lang. I was very hesitant because you know
Mhm.
naman how in the Philippines, when you post something sexual, people go crazy.
Oh yeah.
People go
Yeah,
like,
it's
diba?
it's very
Mm,
taboo,
Yeah, it's
for
yeah.
lack of a better term.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's either ha 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 or oh my god, what is that? Yeah.
Yeah. And there,
Yeah,
ang
yeah.
laki ng chance na maka-cancel ka talaga, especially in my industry. I mean, in the community that I am from, which is originally what makeup and beauty, diba? So it was
Yeah.
like a big
Mhm,
switch
mhm.
talaga. And then so I thought it
Yeah.
over. Sabi ko, wait lang, I need time to think about this. And then just sabi ko, bakit? Why not, diba? Inisip ko talaga, as in matagal ko siyang inisip. Sabi ko, why not? I'm a very sexual person. I know that. Sa sarili ko, I know that. In the way that I dress, I'm very liberated because I'm very comfortable with my body. The way I express
Mhm.
myself, I know what I want and I go for it. So that's my personality talaga.
That's
And
awesome. That's awesome.
it also made me think, no, na parang, okay, all the good sex, all the bad sex that I've had in my adult life. And you know how experiences bring people
Yeah.
together.
Oh, man.
All the bad sex.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
experiences,
all the bad sex.
experiences.
That's my entire life, you know. So
Oh man, I'll have to agree with Say on that one. Good and bad, both experiences
Yeah.
actually make up for good stories, regardless of
Diba?
how memorable they were
yeah,
and
and that's why
bad or good.
that's why I'm hilarious because it's all bad. Anyway,
Oh, come
do
on.
continue. Say I'm sorry.
Yeah, so all of those experiences, they connect all of us. And I know that because I've been doing, you know why my podcast is called Ask Say the Podcast. So I've been doing this since 2010 in YouTube. But I collect like questions from people. Oh,
Mhm.
do you have any makeup questions? Ganyan. And syempre, through the years, it evolved to, I mean, from makeup questions to life questions. And then now may mga sex questions, may relationship questions. So it's something very special to me talaga, like the ask, say, title and everything.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so and
Ooh.
then bumalik ako dun kay Ilya. So I was like, okay, I'll do this because I think I can do this. It's something na, you know, when you think about something, tapos something just clicks talaga in you na parang, I
Yeah.
can do this. This is the path that I want to take. So then, the first ever thing that I did with Ilya, we visited the store, the physical store in Quezon City. This was pre-pandemic, so wala pang mga restrictions or whatever. So we went
Okay.
there. I went there, and I don't know, it just clicked talaga. Sabi ko, ang saya-saya. It's something that resonated so much with me. And from there, from the store visit, we went from that to interviewing sex therapists because I'm not a therapist, I'm not a sexologist, although I would like to become one. But yeah, we worked with various people and we did so much content, sex ed content with Ilya. So it's more of talagang educating people about, kasi hindi lang siya sex toys eh. Like, you know, when people see sex toys, parang, oh my God, ang libog mo, bakit ka may sex toy?
It,
It's deeper
yeah,
than
it's
that.
quite new.
Yeah, it's
Diba?
true, true, true.
It's actually been around for a long time in the world, but in the
Yes.
Philippines, I mean, it's still kind
Yeah,
of young.
it's a bit underground for
Yeah.
most
Mm-hmm.
people. Yeah. Hmm.
I actually saw a story from Ilya a few days ago. Dildos from, hindi ko alam, sobrang tagal na. They're made of stone. Ganun katagal,
What?
super tagal na,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh
I'll share that with
okay.
you
That's
guys mamaya sa Instagram.
Oh
But
sure,
yeah,
sure.
it's so much more than being malibog because you have a sex.
Okay.
So it's deeper
Yeah.
than that. And being an advocate for sex ed, one of my goals talaga is to challenge people to look deeper and explore deeper. Kasi you know, when we talk about ourselves and we talk about our connection with other people, diba? Minsan isipin mo ang bilis lang to connect with yourself eh. But it's not. It's difficult. It takes years. And that is something that I've just started doing, ano lang, recently lang. Siguro mga 2 years pa lang. And it's so
Yeah.
fulfilling. Yeah, it's so fulfilling.
Everybody has their own time. I don't think
Yeah,
that anyone should
it
be
really does take a
pressured.
while. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it comes with age and experience, right? So it's
Yes.
something that you really explore through the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, and it's and
Over here,
yeah.
we're happy that you did find something that really you enjoy, and we'd love to hear more about. In fact, I'm pretty sure my partner over here, he
Yeah.
got a couple questions as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Just
yeah.
slightly off topic, but not really. So you've been doing this for like a decade, right? More than a decade. So
Mm-hmm.
so the content has evolved. It started off with beauty and cosmetics and some lifestyle, and then evolved into more sex positive kind of topics. So
Mm-hmm.
as of late, let's say in 2021, when you still get questions from people every now and then, uh, like for example, you're talking about dildos, since we're on topic, since that's a topic of conversation. You still get that random question about, say, what's the best kind of uh, setting spray for this kind of complexion? Do they still ask about makeup every now and then?
Yeah, yeah. People still
I
ask naman
Oh, okay,
about
cool,
Wow,
cool,
beauty
cool.
that's
and
actually a really good question now
Yeah,
that I
I
think
was just
about it.
I was
Because yeah,
genuinely curious because you could never discount the people who've been following you through the years and still
mm-hmm,
indulge in the older content, because
mm-hmm,
I'm sure
mm-hmm,
there are still fans there who are like, you know what, I like Say's content, I like her earlier content, the Say hipsters. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm
Ang
pretty sure
dami. Yeah.
there's some.
And
Yeah.
what's cool kasi, I've been vlogging since 2010 and I vlogged my life talaga. So from college, actually high school, no, college
Mm-hmm.
hanggang now. So
damn.
some of the people who watch my videos, they saw me grow up.
Oh.
So, alam mo yon, they saw the transformation talaga. Mm-mm.
See, they were together. They were with you on the journey, and I think that's great,
Yeah.
because this is the kind of community that you've been able to nurture. So regardless of what path you
Mhm.
take, given that
Yes.
it's a path that is more or less self improving, they will be they're going to be basically your ride or dies. So that's cool. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zach and I are
Yeah.
hoping to have that kind of community. No, Zach, yeah, people
Absolutely. In fact,
defend us if
Yeah.
they
we
try
look
to
forward
cancel
to
us.
yeah, or people who could start some fights in the comments, or we're not that we promote any sort of violence, but you know what,
Yeah.
you speak your truth is what we're all about.
Yeah.
You
So,
did mention,
mm-hmm,
say,
mm-hmm, go
that
ahead.
you were already vlogging ever since 2010, that people, your earlier followers, basically saw you grow up, and I can't imagine just how much uh change has been going on. I understand you're more liberated. Have you always been like that? Have you always let
Yes.
that
I've
known? Have you
always
always made that
known
known,
na
rather?
I'm a little bit more different talaga. Kasi before, like, sabi ko, okay, ang daming Maria Clara. I mean, it's not bad naman, di ba, to have that personality because iba-iba naman tayong
Absolutely.
lahat. But me talaga, from I don't know, from childhood talaga, I knew sobrang arte ko eh. Alam mo yung arte ko na, maarte talaga ako and I'm a Gemini. And I have this really loud personality. Alam mo yung sobrang
Yes,
colorful.
Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh,
just,
oh,
just
the
don't, Carlos. Don't, just don't.
okay,
Just
okay,
don't.
all right, all right.
Damn it, man.
Sorry, Zach has some history with Gemini's,
I have some
but that's
history with
that's
Geminis.
a topic for
I'm just
another day. It's on a
yeah,
different. It's
we'll probably
yeah,
tell you offline or something.
yeah. It's on a different episode. But anyway, all right.
I've heard that line before. Okay,
it's
yeah.
it's like Gemini energy. I don't get it, but you know what? To anyone who believes in that, that's perfectly fine. Um, Look, we're just really curious
Yeah.
with everything that you've already, all the content you've made, and you said that you started maybe last year, really
Mhm.
pushing your advocacy. So, how exactly do you promote, sex
Yeah,
positivity and be more open?
given how things are in the Philippines, where it's mostly conservative, a lot of people subscribe to the Judeo-Christian kind of religion, and they have
Mhm.
that kind of practice, that kind of tradition in mind. I believe
Mhm.
it could be a bit difficult to promote, especially to the older generation, and to those who've
Yeah.
been
Mhm.
indoctrinated. Oh, the term indoctrinated into that kind
True.
of practice. So yeah,
Mhm.
like Zach and I are curious about how exactly do you promote it? Is it difficult at all? So,
Okay, so for those who are listening and they don't know what sex positivity is, so sex positivity is an attitude towards human sexuality that regards all consensual sexual activities as fundamentally healthy and pleasurable, encouraging sexual pleasure and experimentation. And the sex positive movement also advocates for comprehensive sex education and safe sex as part of its campaign. So for me, kasi I am more focused on encouraging sexual pleasure and experimentation because I've discovered, guys, how many women are not familiar with their vulva. Do you
Hmm.
guys know what a
Hmm.
vulva is?
Haha.
Vulva?
It is
Yes,
a
yes,
part
I
of
yes,
the reproductive
yes, I
system.
do. Yes,
I
I
do not
do.
have one, but
Great.
we have heard it. Yes.
Yes, very very
Because people
important.
tend to,
Mhm.
yeah, they tend to interchange kasi, or yung iba, they call it the vagina. But the vagina is the inside kasi. The vulva is all the parts na nasa labas, external. Ayan. So, yeah, I've discovered how many women are not familiar or haven't even seen their own vulvas. And they are afraid to do so because of so many factors. Kunwari, again, you mentioned earlier religion, culture, shame. And then they end up in relationships or worse, marriages that don't give them
Oof.
satisfaction. They don't
Oh.
climax at all, but they have
Oh,
kids. Guys, someone messaged me before, syempre, anonymous, diba?
yes.
She's
Uh-huh.
never
Uh-huh.
climaxed ever,
Oh my
but she has
goodness.
Oh
three kids.
my. Oh my
Ooh.
Imagine. I
goodness.
cannot, 'di ba? There's such a big disconnect there, 'di ba? And I really want to do my part to help them out, even if it's just by promoting a healthy sexual relationship with yourself. Kasi
Right.
everything starts from there, from yourself talaga, 'di ba? I can't
Yeah.
imagine, my God, never climax at all, pair 3 kids. I can't.
Yeah. So Zach, make sure you know where your vulva is, okay, Zach? All right.
Yeah, I will. I'll grab. You know what? I'll grab
Oh,
a
grab,
flashlight. I'll
grab.
grab a
Oh,
flashlight.
okay.
Maybe one of those.
Oh,
Maybe one of
intense.
those stone dildos, and just just dig my way in, man. But no, what's this? I would love to mention something that my lady actually told me, and she was like, there's a difference between being promiscuous and just enjoying sex. You
Yes.
don't have to go sleep around in order to enjoy it. It's the act in itself, and I completely agree with her. Be I don't know, be brave enough to be brave enough to explore. That's do so in your own time. I'm very supportive of that because hey man, I mean, look, the act in itself is very pleasurable, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it at all.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'd like to say I'm very supportive of Zach's sex life. So yeah, there's that.
You have heard of my sex life, Carlos. You have
Yeah,
heard
I've
everything.
heard too much. So yeah.
He has seen the texts.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, flashbacks. But anyway, okay. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that, say, because yeah, I think your platform is perfect because in this day and age, to go out and basically in mainstream media and talk about this, it's still unheard of, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll never see this kind of thing on like cable television or
No.
like major networks, right? But since the younger generations, they're more they have their finger on the pulse a bit more than than the older ones, and they have more access to this kind of content which you produce. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's good that you're reaching them because at the very least, we can't really change the old ways, but we can pave the way for the new ones. And this is a very good thing you're doing, actually.
I love
Hey,
that. We
what's that
can't change the
saying?
old ways. Mm-hmm.
What's that saying in Tagalog? Na- tag tago yung dumi or something like that. I mean, you guys were. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase, okay, but it's something suggesting that a lot of people are hiding a lot of
Ah,
things from their parents, from society.
hindi nilalabas yung baho, like
Oh,
that.
yun,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
Mm.
that one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can we please stop pretending? I mean, and to a whole lot of people out there, who are still in the shadows about these types of things. And yeah, granted, they may not have the opportunity, or they may not want to make it open, but at least, can we stop pretending that all of this is taboo and bad when you're actually enjoying things behind closed doors. I mean, say what you will, but you don't have to be a hypocrite about it. You might as
Yeah.
well just you might as well if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all type of
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah.
and Say said it best at the very beginning of her definition of sex positivity: consent. If you have
Yes.
full
That's a big thing.
consent, right? And of course, it's in this day and age, especially in 2021, it's very important to have that consent and it make it very clear,
Super.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But for as long as that is there shouldn't be any problem because, first of all, you're having sex with the person that you're with, not the person upstairs who says it's bad, right? They're not
Hmm.
joined. They're not having a threesome with you, although deep inside they might want to. But it's all about who you're with, your partner. This person that you've become vulnerable with, this person that you're opening up to, both emotionally and in terms of clothing. So there it is. It's all about consent. So for as long, I think,
Yes.
for as long as people can get that through their heads, that it's something that two people can agree upon on an
That they want to
emotional
do.
and physical level, it
Mm-hmm.
will work.
Yeah.
We can only hope. We can only hope for that day to come. Oh my goodness, yes. Right. So,
Well, no, you're
mhm,
I absolutely agree with you on that, bro. You know what? It's there's a lot of people still talking about how the generation has changed. The generations have changed over the years so much. In fact, I would I would say the same thing about some kids that I see. And you know what? I understand. While I understand where the concern is coming from, at the same time, the most important thing there is to be able to have that consent, to be able to agree, to be able to talk about things, so that you're more comfortable with one another.
yeah, very
Yeah, I
important.
agree.
Very
Mm-hmm.
important. Okay, so also curious about this one thing, say, since you did mention how you do promote it and how you do reach other people through your platform. Have there been any like specific instances where people have openly resisted you or like messaged you, "Oh my God, you have to go to church. Oh no, this is bad. You're going to hell
Get
because
on
of
your
this." Yeah,
knees.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh
those
my
kinds
God.
of things.
Yes.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
do
And
You
you
need
tell.
guys know, diba? You guys know how the audience is different per platform. Iba
Oh
yung tao sa
yes. Oh,
Instagram,
definitely,
yeah,
iba
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Twitter,
Yeah.
and people on Facebook. Oh my goodness. So dun
They are
talaga.
so
Yeah.
toxic. They're
Yeah.
so toxic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Facebook kasi
grabe.
it's everybody eh, no?
Yes.
Ugh.
So that is the platform. Doon talaga ako nakakuha ng resistance talaga. And usually from the older people, the
Yeah,
older
it's the old
generation.
heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what they say, the boomer, pero we don't want to be ageist. But
Yeah.
yung older
That's
generation.
why it's called
Because,
Boomer Book. Yeah.
yeah, yung ano kasi, yung Facebook page ko, it's mainly for makeup talaga eh. The name is Makeup by Tioco everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I've had that
Yeah.
kasi since
You
before
actually also have
pa. So
that Instagram page.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
matagal na siyang makeup, 'di ba? And then people were like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, what is this page? Bakit makeup?" Tapos biglang merong sex toy na review. That was
Surprise.
when I started doing sex toy reviews kasi. So then I had to release a statement of all this na parang, "Oh, this is my advocacy." Paulit-ulit kong pinost talaga. Because other people, hindi nila maget kung bakit from makeup, biglang sex.
It w-
Yun.
Yeah.
So I had to
I
it went from
explain.
believe,
flesh
yeah,
toned.
it would be a bit, alienating for some, for the less open
Mhm.
minded, where, oh, I just got this new nail polish. I want to see if it's good. Surprise dildo, So that could be, but if yeah,
That's a different kind of flesh colored item.
yeah, it's a different kind of cosmetic, yeah. But okay, that's good to know, and it's a good thing that at the very least you also know how to engage the people on different platforms, right? So Instagram is a bit
Mhm.
more. I think that's. Would you say that Instagram is a bit more tame than the other two?
I love Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
I
true,
think
true,
it's
true.
the best. Yeah. Hindi pa ako ma-TikTok and oh girl, my gosh. I'm like, I can't. I don't know why. I've tried so many times.
Yeah.
Pero I can't. I do have a TikTok, pero like videos of my dog lang. My very
Oh, okay.
handsome dog.
Oh,
Imagine like on TikTok, dildo unboxing. and then the music is like "Say So" by Doja Cat.
Yeah.
They
I would
censor,
actually watch. No,
huh?
I would actually watch that, dude. Like,
I would.
if
I
someone were
would
to unbox
share that.
these types of toys and be open about
Yeah.
it, that would be
I
pretty
I would
entertaining to see.
I would share that.
The comments though, much
Yeah.
more entertaining. I mean,
Mm,
they make it so much more entertaining, and see how the people react. Like, oh, where could I get one? Asking for a friend, those types of things.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pero grabe ang
exactly.
TikTok kasi super daming bata. I mean, before I thought it was like all
Ah,
kids,
yeah,
but it's a
yeah.
lot eh. Halo-halo,
There's a
pero
lot.
yun nga lang, ang daming, yeah, ang daming, yeah, but thank you for giving me an idea. Pwede kasi
Yeah.
ano eh, they, what do you call this? They censor the word sex, the word
Yeah, that's
vagina,
true.
the
That's
Oh, I did
penis,
true.
they
not know that.
censor. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, there was an issue before where people are trying. Yeah, they're also attempting that kind of thing, like sex positivity, but they were
Mm-hmm.
being openly censored, so that became a problem.
Yun nga
Yeah.
Hold on.
eh.
Where is this? Which platform?
TikTok.
Hmm.
TikTok. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
super ironic. Well, not. I mean, maybe just a
A
bit.
little
But, like,
bit. A little
yeah,
bit. You know.
because there's a lot of sexual content on there where they make
That's
jokes
true.
about it and everything. I mean, just because they didn't mention the word sex. And look, my thing is keep the same energy everywhere. If you let people
Mm.
be free about it, make jokes about it, you might as well just let everyone have their say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have their say. Yeah.
Pun intended. I see what you did.
All right. Okay.
Love
Say.
that.
All right. Say. So we're at the 5 minute mark. We're
Mm-hmm.
almost out of time. So. Wait. We're just gonna disconnect, Muna,
Yeah, go
and
lang. And
then
then another link.
yes, we'll invite you. Yeah.
Because
So
Okay.
because
so
we're
so
because
sorry
we're
for the
poor like that.
inconvenience.
It's okay. Ano ka ba? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Send lang sa Instagram.
Wala pang sponsor na Andox eh.
Ay, lechon baka. Right. So, we've been talking a lot about how the idea of sex has been changing over the years, with different generations, how people have resisted towards it. But I'm happy, and I know that well, Carlos, I'm sure that he will agree with this and say, since you are open about it and this is your advocacy, I'm sure you're also happy to hear that more and more people are exploring their sexuality. But with that in mind, let's go talk about kinks. Let me just put it out there right now.
I think my
Okay.
reaction was weird. I was like, "Ee, that's kinks pala." Oh my
Hey
god,
man, look,
exposed.
if that is your kink, if kinks are your kink, that
Wow,
is perfectly fine.
wow,
You know what?
kinkception.
It's the kink meta.
Wow,
It's the kink meta,
kink
okay?
meta.
Uh I know that people have their own things, sometimes it gets pretty crazy. Or Kelly, or Odell Beckham Jr. We're gonna talk about
Oh, whoa,
that
whoa, whoa,
later
whoa, whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa! Full stop.
Yeah,
Okay, but now continue.
I'm
Now
gonna
continue.
explain that to say later on, okay? But
You're gonna have
with
to edit that out of the
regards to
podcast.
nah, dude, that's perfectly fine. But with all these kinks and people being all what's the word I'm looking for, Carlos?
Explorative,
E-
exploratory,
Explore, curious. See, there we go.
curious. Yeah,
Curious is the right word.
kinky.
Yeah.
I mean,
How
it's kinks,
how
right?
exactly do you educate or orient people regarding all these kinks? I mean, it can't
Yeah,
possibly be easy to sort of maneuver around all these landmines, which is the
yeah,
conservative society that we live
yeah.
in.
Especially people who've
Mm-hmm.
only known missionary their entire life. That kind of thing.
Or yeah, or yeah, or doggy. It's one or the other, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how would you tell people about that?
Whenever I do the ask say questions, because I do that on Instagram or the podcast or usually a YouTube video. And one of the top questions always talaga is about threesomes. Ang dami, like
Oh,
so many women.
is
Ooh,
it more so a devil's three-way, or does it involve two women?
is it
It's
two
like
dudes or two girls?
two women and then one guy. Pero
Oh,
kasi
even
it's
the
more
girls think
on
about that?
no, no, it's more on the parang relationship advice type of thing.
Oh,
Kasi
okay.
the girls
Ah,
asking parang should I be offended if my boyfriend
Oh.
told me that he wants to have a
Oh.
threesome? Ang
mm,
dami pa ulit-ulit na question yan. And then syempre, as a sex ed advocate, I do my research. I talk to therapists. I do my research talaga. And a threesome kasi, it's a kink. 'Di ba? It's a kink. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how being a sex ed advocate has shifted my thinking from, ew, oh my God, iwanan mo na yan kasi gusto niya ng threesome, to going deeper and understanding why some people have these kinks. And
Yeah.
hindi lang to yung kinks super dami, di ba? And everyone has kinks.
Yeah.
They just don't
Yeah.
say it, but everyone has
Yeah, because
kinks.
like a threesome is a combination, right? Especially
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm,
if it's two dudes, devil's three-way, right?
mm-hmm,
You're
Yeah.
incorporating voyeurism there because of course you're gonna
mm-hmm.
watch at some point,
Yeah.
and maybe even cuckoldery. I don't know. It could be.
Yes.
It
Mm-hmm.
depends. It depends.
Mm-mm.
Why do I know so much about this? Say continue,
Yeah.
please.
I don't know, Carlos. Why do you know so much
I
about
read. I read
cuckoldry?
internets. You know.
And
Oh
I'm not
yeah, no,
sure if you
I didn't
guys
know
are,
about the
ano,
threesomes.
you're familiar ba with Dr. Emily? She has a podcast also. She's a doctor, may
Hmm.
sexologist pa. But I love her podcast. And there's this one episode, a listener called her, tapos sabi parang, he asked about sex dolls. Di ba in the US, madaming sex dolls. In the
Oh
Philippines,
yeah.
wala pa masyado eh.
Mm-hmm.
Pero
No, I
insert ko
haven't
lang
seen
ha,
that
oh my
here.
God, si Ilya, they just released this, what do you call it? What do you call that?
Is
Yung
it the
parang
robot?
sasakyan mo ng for the women. No,
Oh,
actually for everyone, for everyone.
It's like
It's like
something you straddle or
yes, something you ride.
what?
It has a dildo.
Oh,
oh
is that the one that you can attach to the wall or something? Is it that kind of thing?
oh so
Para siyang
so
what do you
it's like a
call it?
rocking horse but kinky.
Yes.
All
I
right.
Excuse
forget
me,
the
what
name,
now?
but they have it na.
It's
I'm
a
so
it's
happy. So like, oh my God.
it's a merry-go-round but merrier. Okay. Interesting.
I would love to share something that a friend of mine actually offered up, right?
Yeah, a friend,
No, Carlos,
a
no,
friend.
Carlos, not like that, not like that. Okay, first and foremost, my friend is married, and they like to
Mm-hmm.
spice up their sex life every now and then
Mm-hmm.
because they also got married pretty young,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes and tells me things like the types of toys they use. Me, he's like, bro, you gotta try this. You gotta try this and that. You know what? I'll send you one right now. It's like a belt mechanism where you sort of attach you and your partner, and it helps you thrust. And I'm just like, excuse me,
Wow.
I
So
did not know these
it's
types of things existed.
it's like
Ooh.
something you see on the Home Shopping Network, but kinky.
Exactly. It's like
Interesting.
it helps you thrust, and I'm trying to picture it, and I'm just like,
Wait, did he send it?
wow,
Did he send it?
you need help thrusting, or is this for like, I don't know, man, but it's
Yeah,
very interesting to see just
yeah,
how far these toys have gone.
but did he send it,
Yeah.
Zach? Did he send it?
No, he never did.
Oh
I told him
man,
I told him I didn't need
I
it.
was curious.
I
Yeah.
told him I didn't need it. Okay.
I
All right.
saw the name na. I found it. It's called the Cowgirl Premium Sex Machine.
Oh
It's quite
wow,
expensive.
wow.
74K.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
premium.
74K.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Anyone who's willing to shell out that much, well, that
I
mean that means that person
Yeah.
has money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, I'm just gonna go. I'm
I
just
don't
gonna go
have
ahead
that
and
kind.
say,
I don't have that kind of
look,
cheese, that kind of dough. I don't got that.
I'm just gonna
74K.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that they have, yeah, they have the money, and for another reason being, maybe they just never have time for a
Yeah,
partner.
Zach.
Maybe
Yeah,
they enjoy
you
themselves
you can tell
time by
how
themselves.
detached I am sexually from sex itself. My first reaction was, wow, 74K. They could have gotten a gaming PC. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
actually.
wow. That is so me. I'm suddenly disappointed in myself. Oh my goodness. Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah,
Quick
so wala.
question.
It's cool na meron na tayo sa Philippines na ganito.
Yeah.
So yun nga, in the podcast of Doc Emily, so the listener was like asking about sex dolls kasi yung wife niya, parang, bakit? Why do you need a sex doll? Blah, blah, blah. Pero kasi nga, it's a kink eh, di ba? Yeah, so even with using sex toys, it's a kink as well. Oh my God, super damning sex toys. Super duper dami. So it's like, oh my God, there's a million different ways you can use it in
I'm
different kinks. But yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, I'm very curious. Because I've always viewed sex toys as somewhat of just, it's an added thing, for couples.
Yeah.
You bring a toy into the mix, it's sort of brings a little excitement because you're trying it for the first time. Who knows? Maybe you might enjoy throwing it in your regular sessions,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least. But
I'm willing to admit that in the beginning, when I wasn't really too aware of it, I figured that these kinds of devices, these sex toys, I figured that they might be for people who are sexually unsatisfied. Although that might be the case for some,
Yeah.
it's not the general consensus
yeah,
when it
I
comes to that
never
kind of
thought it was a
thing.
kink.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
I
thought it was more
me
like just toys, just like
like a supplement, like
yeah.
it's
Yes.
equipment, you know.
I never
Mm-hmm.
knew that they were
It's a
considered
tool. Yeah, that's
kinks.
true.
Honestly,
Okay, so it's incorporated into kinks. Okay, that's nice to know. So,
so it's not just
yeah,
limited to acts.
yeah,
It's not just kinks aren't just limited to acts. They're also things you can use.
yeah.
Is
So
that
Yeah, yeah. Kunwari with ano, with orgasm control. It's a kink, right? So with orgasm
really?
control, the submissive partner allows a dominant partner to decide when they get to come. And this is actually
Oh,
in 50 Shades of Grey.
oh,
And you can
oh
actually use a
oh yeah,
toy,
okay.
diba? It was a
yeah,
scene in the movie.
it was yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
How I got to watch it? Well, we're not gonna go there, but yes, correct,
I will
correct.
be honest. I honestly got a little bored from
I
50
watched
Shades.
all three. Don't ask how.
I
Anyway,
just,
yeah.
you had one of those exes back in the day, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
wedding. Yeah, I saw the wedding. It was weird. There was a helicopter. Anyway, okay. So, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I didn't know it went that deep because my
Pun intended.
I walked right into that one. But yeah,
Yes, you
my
did.
very primitive man brain, well, I just figured that it was something to bring it at most it was something to bring into the mix, and at the very least, yeah, for someone who was unsatisfied. So at least now I know that there are actually people who not really need it, but it's something that is part of their kink. So
Yes.
that's some information right there. That's
And
nice.
Is
another one that I think you guys will find interesting is that sex toys are actually recommended by OBGYNs for people who are
Oh,
disabled,
oh,
for
okay,
oh,
menopausal women.
right.
Yeah, even doctors
ah,
recommend it. I did a podcast episode with an OBGYN. We talked
mm-hmm.
about it. She actually recommends it for women na menopausal stage na.
Oh,
Ire-recommend
okay.
niya talaga. Kasi nga it's a part talaga of sexual health. It's not just about, ayun, malibog ako, gusto ko ng sex toy. Hindi lang
Right.
yun eh. Hindi lang talaga
Uh,
yun. Yeah. 'Di
honest
ba?
Yeah, true,
question.
true.
I really just gotta throw this out there. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not really exposed to all these different toys or their availability and whatnot.
Really?
But yeah, no, really, yeah.
Okay, okay.
But I'm just curious as to why I see more, toys being advertised for women as opposed to toys for men. And talking to other dudes,
Well, to
talking
be
to other dudes,
fair,
especially here in the
yeah.
Philippines, I don't
Mhm.
really hear anyone talking about getting a sex toy, because the immediate answer is, well, why don't you just rub one out? You have a hand, don't you? So I'm just curious, as why does it seem like there's
Yeah,
more toys on the market for
yeah.
for women?
I have my thoughts,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna let Say answer first. Go ahead.
Actually, alam mo, you know when the first time, I'm gonna share this. I've shared this before anyway in my podcast. The first
Okay.
time I ever bought my first sex toy was in Japan. You know how in
Oh, okay,
Japan
that's a good
we
place.
have,
Oh,
'di
the
ba?
yes, yes,
Ilang
yes.
floors yan, super
Mm-hmm.
daming sex toy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I remember this one place, it was a bookstore. Sabi ko, sana yun? Bakit wala dito yung mga sex toys? Yun pala, second floor. Pero scary kasi I had to go through like, what do you call yung curtains parang sa mga slaughterhouses? Yung ganong curtains.
Oh,
Yung
Was it
heavy
was it like a
plastic.
plastic one? Like
yeah,
Yeah,
like
super heavy
the
plastic.
butcher house?
those splash proof curtains.
Oh
Oo, like
no.
that
Oh
talaga.
wow.
Exactly like that. So I
We
had to
talk
go
about a different kind of
through
splashing.
that. And then I went up, sabi ko, "Oh my God, super dami talaga." And then ang pinaka-funny part dun, so I got one dildo, and then at the counter, it was a guy at the checkout counter. he had to try the product kung gumagana or not. I'm like, shit, I
Oh
want to get out of
wow.
here. First time ko yun, first time. Sobrang funny kasi
Okay.
nag-vibrate yung toy. I'm like, oh, okay na gumagana. Super funny. Ano sinasabi
It's
ko?
it's
Yeah.
it's quite like
Yeah.
it's quite like similar. I mean, maybe not too similar, but that thrill of not knowing and experiencing it for the first
Yes.
time.
It's
It's like
something
when
totally
dudes buy
new.
condoms for the first time and
Yeah.
Mhm.
you're in that convenience store and you're
Yeah.
next in line and you're kind of you're like, oh
Yeah,
god,
for that it's
I
mostly
wonder how they're
shame
gonna
though.
look
It's
at
mostly
me.
embarrassment. Especially when you're
I
like
mean,
For sure.
19.
I can imagine. I can imagine it's sort of similar, like for when people buy their first sex toy. Obviously,
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna think of me. Was this dildo too big? Is it too bright pink or
It
whatnot?"
was
Yeah,
pink.
yeah.
It is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice color
Yeah.
though. Nice color. I mean,
With the veins and everything. Alam mo naman, sobrang
Ah,
intricate ng
well,
details ng
well,
mga
right.
sex
it
toys,
it,
diba?
it is
Thanos,
it it is it is
pink and
Japan,
veiny.
so they pride themselves in their craftsmanship. No
They
doubt,
probably
Yeah.
no
have
doubt.
tentacles somewhere. They probably just have that.
Oh, a different kink for another day. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
Yeah.
given what Say mentioned and what Zach was asking a while ago, I think, just in my opinion, the reason why it that sex toys aren't catered to guys as much as girls is because I think most dudes, myself probably included, I think, is that a sex toy would be probably it just adds more steps to like self gratification. I don't know.
mhm.
I think so. Because like you
So
said, like
bagay,
most guys
yeah,
say,
guys would
just
prefer,
just rub one off and it's done, right?
yeah.
Maybe watch the occasional stimulating film to help out, maybe, or just go into the bank of memories that you have from long ago. That's
I
already
guess it is true. I
helpful enough.
mean, I
I,
mean,
but of course, there is a
technically
market. Yeah,
speaking,
there is a market for
yeah,
that, for sure. But maybe it's not
it
as
is
big.
easier for dudes to come, right? I mean, scientifically speaking, that's a fact.
I don't know, Zach. You tell me. Were you asking
This
Say?
I was just
Are
think
you?
I
Is
was
that a
just
legit
thinking, bro. Like,
question?
it is a legit question, right? Like,
Well, I think yeah.
um,
I mean, I think so. Like in terms of the process. I mean, like you both mentioned a while ago, you've had your experiences of both good and bad, and I think the consensus is guys get riled up a bit more easily. Guys blow their load a bit more easily, and then they fall asleep. Right. So that's the
I feel
case.
guilty. Like
But
if I'm just by myself,
yeah.
I get a feeling of guilt.
Oh,
I don't know why.
the post
I
nut
don't know
clarity.
why. Yeah, it's
The
like
post nut clarity.
I
Yeah.
feel like such a dirty, dirty
Yeah, like
person. I don't know what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
on your way is like, oh my god, this is so good. When you're done, what am I doing with my life? I should be
I feel
working.
like I'm a complete asshole for this, right? That's the feeling.
Yeah, but they say that's the best time to make life changing decisions when you're in that state of lucidness right after you climax. Well, I don't know if that's scientifically proven, but yeah.
Look,
And would you guys agree with me? Because
Mhm.
I think also when it comes to relationships um the sex toys become like a threat to a man's ego. Would you agree? Because I would say
Mm,
that in
I
some cases. And yeah,
I don't. I personally, I mean, at least just for me. Yeah,
when I
I
okay,
can't speak
yeah.
for all guys,
yeah,
but
when,
for me
Mhm, mhm.
personally, I don't feel threatened
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
younger,
by a sex
yeah,
toy.
when I was younger, when I had that mentality I mentioned a while ago, where of course it never happened to me in the past, but
Mhm.
when I'd know or when I'd find out that some of the people I know, like those couples, engage in that kind of thing, and these couples are a bit older than I am, I'd think, oh really? So he can't pleasure his lady? That's kind of weird. But I've come to realize that it's part and parcel when it comes to sex in some
Mhm.
cases or most cases even. So as of now, as of the year of our Lord 2020 season 2, I'd say that no, it wouldn't really threaten me. It'd actually be helpful because at the very least, hey, you get to learn something new from your partner, right? So that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool,
I
I
love
guess.
that. You guys are very secure with yourselves. Kaya sobrang bongga yan. Because not a lot are like you guys. Alam mo yun? I've actually encountered people na parang, why do you need sex? Ito pa, my gosh, this happened to me actually when I was when I just started like releasing all of the sex toy reviews, diba?
Mm-hmm.
One
Mhm.
ignorant person, a male, he's
Of
like,
course.
ako na lang yung
I'm
gawin
sure he
mong,
was.
yeah, sabi niya, ako na lang yung gawin mong sex toy. And that's harassing.
Ay, hay
I
Yeah,
went
nako.
off. I went
that
off
is
talaga.
that is
I
not
Ti-
cannot.
nice.
typical and still disappointing. Mm,
Diba? My goodness. Parang, oh my
yeah,
God, level up. You're so ignorant. Parang,
yeah,
ignorant ka na nga. Pinagyabang mo pa na ignorante ka. Nakakaloka. Diba?
yeah. And the
Yeah,
funny
I
thing is
just
that
Yeah.
person would never say that to your face.
yeah,
Exactly.
for real.
It's the
Exactly.
privilege of anonymity and the anime profile picture. Yeah, so that
Diba?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
as keyboard warriors, man. But truth be told, most of them aren't even capable of satifying their own partner, be it man
themselves,
or woman,
Exactly.
themselves.
or themselves.
They're probably just really frustrated, you know. So, well,
Mm,
I try to
mm,
understand. But yeah, but thank you for saying that. Say, I don't think I'm completely secure. It's just that I know for a fact that I have my limitations, and they are
mhm.
many. So, I think that's the case. But in terms of so kinks a very broad a broad topic because there are so many. I think if we went over all of them, it would take a couple of days. But
Mm.
what do you, based on your experiences on your podcast and the questions made, what do you think are the most common kinks that people come out with or that people ask about in general, aside from the
Golden
threesome, of course?
showers.
Oh my God, Zach, that's I don't think that is that still like that's it's considered a kink, but it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So say, are there any other like super common kinks that you sort of notice a pattern with most people? Is there any?
Well, yung threesome is the most popular that I get every time I do the Ask Say segments. And I think BDSM, uh,
Mm,
role play. What else? I've heard of, what do you call that? Golden showers. I've heard of that before, pero hindi siya masyadong
it's it's
yeah.
it was probably on a police report.
look, we on chances are, and yes, I'm going to say included,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because we're not gonna shame anyone for it. Okay,
Yeah,
it's kink same and
Yeah.
not kink shame
yeah.
over here.
Kink same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm,
we just really have to ask you,
yes.
what if anything draws the line between a kink and something that's just flat out inappropriate?
Yeah.
You know, this is probably my favorite question. You know why? Kasi I love listening to podcasts. And there's
Hmm.
this particular podcast, the Man Whore podcast. He guested. Do you guys know Betty Dodson?
I've heard. I've
Uh,
Just
heard.
she just
uh
died recently.
Justine.
She's
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, the mother of masturbation. She's a
Oh,
big she's a big figure in the
Yeah. That's where I heard it
sexologist
from.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was 86 years old when she did this podcast with the Man Horror podcast. Medyo may isang off na part lang doon, and I'm sure you guys will add naman na ano daw, what do you call that? Disclaimer. Anyway,
uh-huh.
she talked about kasi sex with minors. And that for me,
Oh.
Oh.
that is
Oh.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
Actually.
no-no. It's a no-no.
Oh
Because,
no.
you know,
Yeah.
Carlos, you mentioned consent earlier, diba?
Yes.
And for
Yes.
me, it is oh my god, it's super important, consent, and I don't think that kids are able to give consent. So
Yeah.
sex with
Yeah.
minors, a definite no no
Oof.
for me. No, as in no
Oh
Yeah.
talaga,
man.
I cannot. Yeah.
That's something that I think, well, give not to defend or anything, but just to see where she's coming from. 86, maybe at the time it was different, but no, it's 2021, we can't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
she
not
was
open, it's not open for debate even,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker. Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
86 years old. Times were different. It's like the saying, you can't just retroactively cancel someone for doing something. I mean, our grandparents, or at least my grandparents, my grandma was like 14, 15 years old when she gave birth to my dad. So
Really.
things were
Mm.
very different,
Yeah.
considering the
Especially
time and the
yeah,
place.
post-war, that was so different. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
that was a very that was a totally different time. Hmm. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a huge deviation from the kinks, and we're
Oh,
gonna
jeez.
steer the kink mobile back to something way more spicy and less controversial. Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
okay. So something I believe that we've been talking about this topic at length, and we're very much enjoying it. But we don't really mean to put you on the spot. Say we don't mean to put you on the spot, but we believe that this is all for education, and this is all for
Mm-hmm.
awareness. And we would like to know, how about you? Say, do you have any particular favorable kinks that you have? Any of your own?
This is special because I've never shared this to anyone other than my
Oh,
closest
Oh,
friends.
we get an exclusive.
pri-
Oh,
the
wow.
Yeah, so
privilege,
chances are
Thank you
the
for the
privilege.
trust. Thank you for the trust, really.
you
If you
can
want,
make that a title
yeah, yeah,
actually. I'm
yeah.
kidding.
If you want, we'll edit this out. No, just kidding.
Well, yeah, if you want to, we can just edit this out. No, yeah.
We'll keep it to the grave.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can share. I
All
am a
right.
Thank
big
you for the
fan.
trust, though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of submission and role
Oh.
play.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, are you like, would you consider yourself the sub or the dom?
Sub.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Zach, she said submission. So
What? I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean, bro.
so she
Is it
submits. You know.
is it because I used to do jujitsu, or is it because
Yeah. All right.
I like
Yeah.
the choking, or I don't know, dude.
Different orientation. Understandable. Yeah. Understandable. All right. So
Yeah.
when it comes to role play, I'm just sorry. I'm curious about this because
Mm-hmm.
I mainly just read about it. I've never engaged in it. I don't think I've dropped enough hints of how lacking I am when it comes to sexual awareness. But when it comes to role play, so does this is this like the full spread of everything, like the acting and the like the attire and all that, like putting yourself in the mindset of that particular scenario?
Yeah, it's everything actually. It's so fun, especially with the with the fashion. Sorry, not fashion, with the lingerie. Yeah, with the fashion actually, kung
Ooh,
anong
I like lingerie. Yeah,
attire. It's
it's
so
cool.
fun. It's cute and it's fun and it's
Okay,
sexual.
Yeah,
It's like
I can imagine like myself in like a really nice really nice G string, Victoria's
diba?
Secret.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
I'd look good
I
in
just
that. You admit
I
it,
can
Zach.
totally imagine
Yes.
myself as
I'd look
Chewbacca.
great. I'd look great in that.
Great. Yes.
Well, thank you,
And
Say.
So, what color would that G string be on you, Carlos? Are we talking like a
Fuchsia,
teal,
fuchsia
fuchsia?
pink. If I could spell,
Ooh.
if I could spell fuchsia, I'd say it.
I'll spell it for you, and then I'll head to La Shenza tomorrow, and I'll grab you one myself, bro.
Wow, thank you.
You know, that's
Christmas
gonna be your
comes
birthday
early.
gift. That's gonna be your birthday
Christmas
gift,
comes
okay?
early. But
Use it
yeah,
wisely.
yeah. But that's interesting to know, Say, because I'd go as far and say as I admire that, because that takes dedication, because
Mhm.
it's basically a full blown production, minus the cameras, of course, unless they're into that kind of thing. But it's
Mhm.
basically acting things out like you're in a movie, and I think that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. I mean,
Diba? It's so
It is
cute.
cool. It is
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'd actually
Uh
say that that might be a kink of mine. I just haven't met someone who's up to the challenge of putting their mindset into the entire thing. Because I feel
Mhm.
like if I'm gonna role play, it's gonna be like an entire day. I'm gonna method act
yeah.
that shit. I'm gonna
Yes.
You're
I'm gonna Daniel Day Lewis that role play. Joaquin Phoenix. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Look,
that's interesting thing to know, actually.
yeah, these roles are really cool now, like acting the part, but I just can't help I can't help but have this thought in my head where it's very similar to these poorly acted pornos, and it just makes me laugh every time I
What are
get
you
the
talking about,
look.
step bro?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. You know how these a lot of pornos, they have this especially even
Yeah.
in old school times, they have these like storylines and whatnot. Nowadays there's so many that's just
Well, my
um
friend, it's all about knowing where to find them.
look, here's my thing.
Mm.
It's become such comedy. It's become such comedy for me that I reached a certain point in time in my teens where I kind of got bored of it because it was the same. Okay, there's a dick, there's a vag, things happen, right?
Yeah, there's a
And it
boob,
Mhm.
got
and
to a
yeah, yeah.
point
Mhm.
where it got to a point where I was curious, like, what is the actual storyline here? And I shit you not, it could be super funny at times. You want a comedy? Go straight to freaking Pornhub or whatever, and then literally type Milkman or something like that. Like, oh, uh,
Yeah,
Milkman.
or
actually,
even
yeah,
pizza
yeah.
delivery, dude. That's like
It's
super
and
funny.
it's
There's a
funny.
hole in the
It's funny
box.
that you mention. It's funny that you mention it because actually, I think there's like a very small subgroup, of pornography connoisseurs or sorry, filmmakers that are actually making porno films that actually have decent acting and an actual story. But
Mm.
you're
Really?
mostly gonna find them not in the West. Like they're mostly European or Asian. How do I know this? Well, the internet.
How do you
A
know
little
that?
birdie told
have you
me
done
called the
have you done
internet.
research?
Yeah, binulong ng hangin. The wind whispered it to me. Yeah, but that's a good thing to talk about actually because it has evolved. You must admit, in terms of like imagine. Well, the acting does take away from the experience sometimes. Imagine watching porno in 4K and then acting's really really bad. Like, oh, what are you doing here? I don't know. Why are
What are
you
you doing,
naked?
step bro?
Step bro, I'm stuck in the washing
I'm
machine
stuck in the washing
again.
Oh my
machine
god.
again.
Yeah,
I, lo-
right.
I
Yeah.
love this. I love this one dude who's I think he's on TikTok or something,
Oh, he's on
where his girl
TikTok?
his
Wow.
girlfriend. No, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Hear me out on this.
All right, all right, all
So
right.
he acts out scenes with his girlfriend, right? And his girlfriend plays the role.
Oh,
She plays the
yeah.
role of like that horny stepsister, and she acts so bad, like, oh, step bro, I'm stuck. And then literally he just reacts like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, but
Yeah.
I
I,
mean,
I
the
I do my own laundry, right? That
I do
guy?
my own laundry.
Yeah.
He just is the perfect anti-simp.
Yeah, we'll share it to you later. Say, don't worry. It's
We
it's
will.
it's hilarious. It's the most
We will.
interesting kind of counter to that. All right. So, anywho, okay. So you've shared yours, and well, we appreciate that. We appreciate your trust, and we think that a lot of people would probably relate to that because I myself, I mentioned a while ago, I think it's very intriguing the whole role playing aspect, complete with costumes and proper mindset. It could be a
Mm-hmm.
very interesting and refreshing experience, especially to people who want to spice up things in the bedroom.
Mhm.
Like I said a while ago, people who've only known missionary their entire lives. So, uh, being able to role play something that would be pretty cool. It could
Yeah.
unlock, yeah, dare I say, unlock other kinks they might have. So
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
a it's a long and kinky road, I would say, that they
Yeah,
would have. All right.
absolutely. If I may, Carlos, and
Mm-hmm.
I know this is actually very. I like to think of this as a very meaningful question. But before we wrap things up, um, I just got to say it must feel very empowering for you as a woman to be able to express your
Mm-hmm.
sexuality freely, and
Yeah.
um exactly how much of an impact does it have in modern society wherein a lot of women are still judged for it,
Mm-hmm.
and how could it perhaps empower them more if they're, I don't know, I wouldn't say liberated, but just more outspoken about this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, how could it
Yeah.
benefit them?
Yeah, that's why I really love this. I love what I'm doing right now. Even the recent podcast that I have, it's like what makes a woman a slut. And I talked about, how society calls women this and that just because
Yeah.
they're more liberated or they sleep around. I mean, if they want to sleep around, why not, 'di ba? Buhay naman nila 'yun, 'di ba? Ang importante lang is they're having safe sex. Kaya um yun yung lagi natin share na consent, safe sex, and we keep reminding people talaga that it's okay to be whoever you are. Kasi, oh my God, life is so short. This is my favorite quote of all time. Life is so short to be, ano yun? Life is so short to not live the life you want to live or
True.
not be who you
Yeah.
are. Isipin mo yun, like anything can happen in a snap of a finger. 'Di ba? Tapos parang don't hold yourself so much kasi ang ikli ng buhay. And once you let go and allow yourself to be who you really want to be. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful journey. Yeah.
Life is too short to be a prude. That's for sure. I mean,
Unless that's your thing,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
if you
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, true, true,
Mm,
true, true. Anywho, well, thank you for that. Say thank you for this very, very informative
Thank you
conversation. I
so
personally
much,
learned a
really.
lot. Zach learned so much more, especially about the vulva, and I'm sure
I will look
our
for my own.
our listeners have been enlightened as well because this is a topic that not a lot of people talk about, and we're really glad that you're more or less spearheading this. You're one of the I dare say one of the
Pioneers.
vanguards and pioneers in this particular movement when it comes to sex positivity. So it is
Thank
an
you so
honor
much.
and a privilege to have you here on our podcast, spreading awareness and having a really, really good time talking about bad
Mm-hmm.
acting in
Mm-hmm.
pornography.
And
Thank
Yeah,
you
and
guys
stone
so
dildos.
no
much.
problem.
Yeah,
Anywho,
stone
yeah.
dildos. Yeah.
Boys and girls, you could catch Say exclusively on Spotify on the Ask Say the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Mm-hmm.
name.
Yeah.
And say where else can some new fans, I'm sure, catch you on social media.
You can check me out on Instagram. My name is Say Tioco, Saytioco, and it's the same thing for YouTube, for Facebook, yeah, and on TikTok. Say Tioco everywhere. Yeah.
Nice. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on this
Thank you.
very wonderful
Yes.
podcast. We appreciate your trust and we will
Loved it.
keep the secret to the grave, even though this will be broadcast on Spotify.
Thank you, Carlos and Zach.
Thank
Thank
you, Say.
you.
And
Thank you, Say.
everybody else, catch us on social media at Chances Are Pod and on Spotify. Chances Are It's a podcast also on YouTube where we upload the audio with a really, really weird photo playing in the background. Oh, sorry, the audio's playing and the photo's there. Anywho, thank you so much for joining us. Carlos and Zach signing out for now.